have since 1994. They lost the same number. They lost 3 games in conference right off the bat. They draw one by the Evanston Wildkits. We do have some equipment problem that we're dealing with today. We may be getting some very weird shots out of this. Takes the shot, no. Brought down by the Trevians. Up ahead for Lewis Powell. Lewis Powell lost the handle a little bit, Lewis Powell back out to Matt. Matt Powell, and he got fouled. Out top, Lewis Powell. Sortle. Busey to Larkin. We did have some equipment problems in this game. More than I care to mention, actually. Underneath. Up and in by Danny Larkin. Near side, back top, on the rotation by the Wildkits. Up, no. Put back is good. And it is a 2-2 game. Larkin inbounds it to Matt Powell. Matt Powell dishes it off. Sortle drives, no. Back door. And no by Busey. And the score remains tied at 2. A little jumper. No. And Sortle. Sortle dished it off. Up top. Larkin. And now backed out by the Trevians. Matt Powell. The far side. Sortle, near side. Lewis Powell for 3, yes. 5-2, Trevian lead. Brought back out. Back to side, going for 3 back the other way, yep. And we're tied up at 5. Powell gave it off. Busey dished off from the outside. Sortle, no. On the near side, going for another 3. No, well short. Out ahead for Matt Powell. Matt Powell stops, drops it. 7-5 New Trier. The side, back top. Tries a drive, nope. Last touch by the Trevians, it was Chris Busey that knocked it out of bounds. Wildkits inbound, up top. Into the paint. Traveling. And a turnover. The Trevians have lost 3 games. The last time that they lost 3 games in conference was 1994. It's interesting to note that the 2 times that they won conference without going totally undefeated, they went nowhere in state. They didn't even get to the super sectional. That being in 1995 and 1997. Wildkits with the ball. Little jumper good. Near side. Chris Bassler just into the game. Out of bounds. Possession retained by the Trevians. Apparently, we've got some things being thrown on the floor, but I don't know which side that is. Coming into the game is Jonathan Blakely. First time Jonathan's been out on that floor all season long for the Evanston Wildkits. Traveling by Danny Larkin. (9-7). Trevians with the lead. On the rotation, up top. Driving, takes the little jumper, no. Wildkits got the rebound. Then got bumped around a little bit, out of bounds, I believe. Yeah, out of bounds, last touch by the Wildkits. Trevians basketball. Right in front of their own bench. Sortle. 9-7. Trevians with the lead. Near side, going for the three. Yes! 12-7. Underneath, knocked away by Larkin on the steal, and back comes Sortle. Sortle pulls it back out. Matt Powell. Evanston's got a very talented ball club this year. Here's another three. Make it 13-7. Here's the score now, 13-7. Phil Lubin hitting that three. Underneath. And it is 13-9. Trevians lead. Sortle. Sortle dished it off and lost the handle. On the hand, a foul. Lewis Powell with the foul. Missed the first one. Makes the second. 13-10 the score. Larkin now up ahead. And Lewis Powell lost the handle. of bounds to the Wildkits. On the near side, back up top. Here a little jumper short. Trevians get it back. On ahead. And up. And in on the goaltending, though. On the breakaway. Back come the Wildkits. As we said, we do have equipment problems today, so bear with us. Out high. To the near side. Back out top. And backed away. Trying to drive and lost the handle out of bounds. And they're going to give it back to Evanston. I don't know how, but that's what they're saying. As touched by New Trier. But 15-10. Trevians have it at the buzzer. And at the end of the first quarter of play, the Trevians leading 15-10, and we'll be back with more in just a moment here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Trevians will inbound to start the second half of this one. The inbound. Over to the far side. The shot, no. Put back, no. And the Wildcats bring it out. Cross the timeline quickly, and now we'll set it up to the far side. Up top, on the rotation over here to the near side, back out top again. Looking for some help, up top. Now, Sortle touched it briefly. He was the last one to touch it. Out of bounds to the Evanston Wildkits. Trevians lead 15-10. Five-second violation. And it will be New Trier basketball. Larkin will inbound it, gave it to Sortle. Sortle. Brett Sortle up top. Sortle gave it to Busey. Busey, and he lost it briefly. Now here's a long one for Matt Powell, no. And Lewis Powell got clothesline, nothing called. Over here to the near side. Back out high. Back door. Up and missed it. And Larkin got fouled. Elijah Hall with the foul. Brett Sortle. To Matt Powell. Matt Powell. Underneath. Up and no. Busey up and puts it in. 17-10. New Trier. Down on the floor. They'll play a little bouncing game with it. Loose ball. Pops free. Wildcats finally get it. Back up on top. To the side, trying to strong arm his way. No, he traveled. Moved the pivot foot. Dished off. Offensive foul on Paul. Seven-point Trevian lead. Evanston's had a little bit of a dry spell here. To this side, Trevians, very good defensive team. Their problem's been the offensive end of it. Here's a little two, and it is a 5-point Trevian lead. Whoops, through the hands of Phil Lubin just into the game. Knocked the man down, took the shot, no. It was Bassler with the rebound. Bassler with the ball now, takes the shot, no. Last touch by Lubin. Out of bounds to the Evanston Wildkits. We're here at Northwestern University. Up top, to the side, takes the shot, no. And a foul. The most points scored against Evanston. Bill Cossack scored 43 points back in 1970 against the Wildkits. Murray Rosenflag. I had to misspell Don Reinfleisch, the last name. There's a C in there, but couldn't fit it in. And I apologize to Don for that. Back up top. Sortle. Sortle gave it off. Larkin, they were looking for a backdoor play, didn't quite work. Larkin takes it himself, brings it up, and gets it in. (19-12). From way outside, nope. Trevians with the rebound. Busey gave it back to Matt Powell. Matt Powell dished it off. Larkin now back to Sortle. Near side, Lubin. Larkin back to Sortle. Sortle drives up and no. And back come the Wildkits. Tried to strong arm it up, no. Lubin with the rebound. And a timeout taken by the new Trier Trevians. 3:41 left to play here in the first half. Well, there you see where we are on the proceedings. 72% victory rate. Coming into this game, New Trier is 13-7, 3-3 in conference. And as we said, the last time New Trier was in this position in conference was back in 1994. New Trier has not had a losing record, overall losing record, since 1983. I said it went right, 1983. I take that back, 1985. Here's a shot by Sortle, good. 21-12. From the outside, no. Picked up by Matt Powell. Powell over to the far side. Actually, what we've had to do is use two cameras at the same time. It's kind of hard to keep track of where both of them are, and we had some equipment problem anyway. Here's a little run and gun. 21-14. The inbound. Matt Powell. Yeah, we had a broken piece of equipment. There's a block. Foul on the Wildkits. Some of the crowd here today. As we said, we have about 6,000 or so here at the arena. Welsh-Ryan. Brett Sortle gave it off to Busey, now to Larkin. Larkin tries to drive up, and yep. 23-17. 23-14 make it. Deep to the corner. Up top, stolen away. Up and in by Busey. (25-17). To the near side, going high. Nope. Brought down by Hearn. Hearn gave it off to Sortle. Sortle. Up and no. Back the other way. And the foul. And they're going to say that was not a shooting foul. Or are they? No, it is not a shooting foul. Lewis Paul checks back in for the Trevians. He inbounded for the Wildkits up top. Looking for some help, dished it off. Into the paint, up and in. Larkin gave it to Sortle. Sortle. Off to Hearn. Now stolen away. Gonna do a little run and gun, up and good. Count it, and the foul. (25-16). Count the basket and the foul. And the two crowds of loyal faithful. The little scrimming and yelling on their end. 25-17. Out of bounds to the Trevians. Last touch by Evanston. As one of the Powells lost the handle. Matt Powell lost the handle. Matt Powell with it now. Feeds it up ahead. And the foul. And Chris Busey was fouled. Now Busey, the inbounds it to Matt Powell. Matt Powell. Up top. Powell gives it off to Chris Busey. Busey to Lubin. To Sortle. To Larkin. To Busey. To Powell. And the Trevians going to Try and hold on here. Matt Powell. Gave it off to Larkin. Larkin from the outside goes for the three. No. And alley-oop it at the half. And nope. And the Trevians lead 25-19 at half. We'll be back with more basketball action here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network in just a moment. We got a special coming up for you. Near side. Little jumper. No. Putback attempt. No. Try again. Now taken away by the Trevians. That's Brett Sortle. Fed it ahead. Trevians with it. On the run. Dished it off. Lewis Powell. Up and no. And brought down. Now nearly stolen away. Out and out of bounds. Last touch by the Trevians. I don't know. That looked like a foul to me on the Trevs, but ain't none of the ref don't call it. Brought up ahead. There we go. We have to fix the camera a little bit. Here's the shot short. And an offensive foul. A charge. Glad to have you with us here on the network. Inbound. Now giving back to Danny Larkin up ahead for Lewis Powell. Lewis Powell gave it off to Busey. In for Larkin. Back to Busey. Busey goes for a three. No. And Busey fouled, and he'll go to the line for 3 shots. So Busey will shoot 3 here. First one is good. Second one's good. And the third one's good. 3-point play. Trevians' lead is up to 9. On ahead and an errant pass taken back by the Trevians. Matt Powell with the shot. No. And traveling. (28-19) the score. Inbounded. Sortle gave it back to Larkin, to Lewis Powell. Up top to the far side. Now Sortle. The dish off. Up top. Underneath. And Larkin was rejected. Back the other way. Little spinorama move. No. Foul. Out of bounds. Out of bounds. Lost the handle. This time it's the Trevians' ball. Inbound to Lewis Powell. Lewis Powell tries to drive the lane, puts it up, and that was rejected. Back the other way come the Wildkits. Down on the floor, loose ball. And the Trevians have it. Evanston having trouble getting shots here in the third quarter. Sortle. Gave it to Matt Powell. Back to Sortle. Sortle stops, now gives it to Matt Powell. Cross court. Up top again. Lewis Powell. To Brett Sortle. Over for Busey. Busey tries to, Lewis Powell tried to drive the lane, couldn't do it. Over to the far side, corner. Nope, offensive foul. Elijah Hall. And a timeout taken by the Evanston Wildkits. Haven't gotten a shot off besides the opening tip. Most points in a game. Bill Cossack, 48. That was a playoff game, and the Trevians ended up losing that one. Bill Haddis, 45. Bill Cossack twice scored 43. Rick Hilscher, 42. And the Trevians will inbound here. Way up in the rafters here at Northwestern. The inbound. Trevians with it. Matt Powell. Matt Powell. Off to Sortle. Sortle. Gave it off. Now, shot no by Larkin. Back the other way come the Wildkits. Put it to the backside. Shot is no good. And brought down by the Trevians. And Matt Powell. Nice job by Larkin protecting that ball. Out of bounds. It'll be New Trier basketball on the rejection. Both teams have run into a little dry spell here. Trevians have gotten shots, haven't gotten to drop again. Score remains 28-19, favor of the Trevians. Now the inbound. Lubin just into the game, along with Bassler, the two sophomores. Up top, Matt Powell. Matt Powell dished it off on the far side. Now to the near, Matt Powell gets into the paint. Dished it off from the outside for three. Yes. Danny Larkin, and it's 31-19. Favor of the Trevians. Trevians have kind of busted this open as Evanston having trouble getting shots, much less scoring here. Haven't even there's a foul on Matt Powell. Evanston only shot of the quarter was in the opening series of the second half here. And the Wildcats inbounded the ball. 5 seconds, and it is another turnover. The Trier has shut down the Wildcats, or the Wildcats have shut themselves down, not sure exactly which here. Sortle tried the strong arm, no. Couldn't get through. Out of bounds, last touch by Evanston. 3:10 left to play here in the third quarter. Inbounded to Sortle. Sortle back for Larkin. Larkin with the shot, no. Up on the top, Larkin with the foul. On the near side. The corner. In tight. Strong arm, no. Offensive foul. Danny Larkin taking the charge. Danny's been working very hard at getting that. Knocked away from Kevin Hearn, but out of bounds to the Trevians. Kevin Hearn just into the game. Now the inbound up top. Busey gave it off to Sortle. Back to the far side. Little jumper. Good. By Danny Larkin. And the Trevians now leading by 14. Sortle. And foul. Busey to inbound. Gave it off to Sortle. Sortle. To Busey. And an errant pass picked up by the Wildkits. They're going to try and go end to end. Lost the handle. Last touch by Chris Busey, though. And it will be Wildkits basketball underneath their own basket. They have yet to score here in the third quarter. Up and in, finally. And that's the first basket by the Wildkits in a while. Almost 6 minutes. Hearn. Give it off to Lubin. Lubin. The Trevians take a timeout. So while the Trevians take a timeout, we'll take a brief break. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Well, welcome back. Glad to have you with us here on the network. New Trier in Evanston from Welsh-Ryan Arena. Trevians leading by 14 here. Trevians inbound following the timeout. On the side, going for three, yes. And the Trevians leading 38-21. Who would have thunk this? Back up top. To the side, out of bounds. Touched by the Trevians. And possession will retain to the Wildkits. There you go, points average per game. That's over a season. Up top. And a little jumper short. Trevians with the rebound. Trevians can go up almost 20 here. In fact, they can go up 20 with a three. You see, over to Lewis Powell. Lewis Powell Drives the lane, lost the handle, but he got fouled. Mike McKinney with the foul. McKinney headed for, I believe, Northern Illinois next year. Inbound, up top. Matt Powell. Gave it off to Lewis Powell. Now on the rotation. Back to Brett Sortle. Trevian's going to try and hold it for the last shot of the third quarter here. Whoops. And Sortle lost the handle. And a foul. Got a little rambunctious to chase down the ball. Foul on Busey. The inbound. Dished off. Step up, take the shot. Count it. 2 at the buzzer. And it is a 15-point Trevian lead. New Trier leads 38-23 as we start the fourth quarter here. Busey to inbound it. Whoa. Nearly ran out of time. Matt Powell. Gave it off to Busey. In for Larkin. Dish off. Reverse. No. Or yes. Count it. And the foul. Matt Powell going to the line. With a chance at a three-point play. Make that Lewis Powell. And he missed the layup. 17-point Trevian lead. Up top. On the rotation. And the block foul on Danny Larkin. Next week we'll be at Maine South. Out high. And to the corner. Going for the three. Yes. .4 Trevian lead. Up ahead. Paul. Ditch it off. Sordo up and in. .42-26. Near side. Out high. Held onto it. To the corner. Cross court. Tries to strong arm it up. No. And a foul. New Trier's Chris Busey, I believe. It is on Busey. Wildkits will inbound. These teams could meet again somewhere in the playoffs. Another foul on this one on Larkin. Trevian's picking up a couple of fouls here. I think the most that they've ever met in a season was like 4 times. We're over the bonus, and the Wildcats will go for the 1-1 here. to meet like 4 or 5 times. Let's see, meet once at Niles West, once in the regular season, once at Proviso West, second regular 5 times. They somewhere in there, they may have even met 5 times in a year. I think that's why Evanston quit going to the Niles West tournament. They just got tired of all these games against New Trier. Lewis Powell. And then the foul going up. And Busey will go to the line. I don't remember what year that was. I want to say the 98-99 season. They met 5 times. Got a little ridiculous. From the outside now, Matt Powell, Brett Sortle, Busey, and he was rejected. Driving to the lane now, kick, and possession retained by the Wildkits. In 1977. Well, that was East and West. Forget that. No. Put back. Yes. No, I guess not. Back door. Easy layup. By Chris Busey. Scooped up, and yep. 15-point Trevian lead. Inbounded. Busey. Nope. Traveling. Let's see. Over the last several years, 99, they met 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 98, they met 3 times. 97 just the twice in the regular season. 96 3 times, 95 2. Whoops! Lost the handle, out of bounds to the Wildkits. The inbound. In the corner, going for the 3. No. Sortle. Give it off to Lewis Powell. Matt Powell, rather. And Matt Powell lost the handle again. On the side, into the paint, and traveling. I'm a traveling man, been a lot of places all over the world. And a timeout taken by the Wildkits. Most games leading the team in scoring. And Glodek would still lead, even if we don't count the fact that he was the first freshman to play on the varsity. He only had 3 or 4 games where he was the leading scorer as a freshman. Of course, Matt now playing for Stanford. Rick Hilscher. Simon Lincoln. John Magnuson back in the 50s. Trevians inbound, out ahead, and nice job by Busey. Rather than trying to go for the layup, take the ball out and set the play. Larkin up top. Busey gave it off to Matt Powell, to his brother Lewis. And the Trevians working on the clock a little bit here. Get the foul and go to the line. Busey shoots one and the bonus. No, but Trevians got the rebound. Bring it back out. And again, the Trevians working on the clock. Stolen. Bad pass. Up and missed the slam jam. Up top. And a little two. And a timeout taken. 43-34 the score. Sortle. And Sortle got fouled. He'll go to the line for the one hand. Trevians in the super bonus here. Sortle shoots two. Gets the first. Got them both. 45-34. Trevian lead at 11. Driving the lane, puts it up, count it, and the foul. Mike McKinney goes to the line. Cut the lead to 8. In and out. And a foul. And a little glaring. We'll walk down the other side, and Busey will get 2 free throws. Chris misses the first. And missed the second. Out ahead. To the near side. Looking to dish it off. Did so. And the block foul. 2 minutes and change left to play here. The one end. Missed the front end of it. And last touch by the Trevians, out of bounds to the Wildkits. Trevians ball out of bounds. On the man scrum along the line there on the far side. Thought to throw it way ahead, instead gave it off to Matt Powell. Powell got fouled and he'll go to the line. Matt Powell shoots a pair. First one is good. 10-point Trevian lead. Second one is also good. 47-36. McKinney dished it off to the far side, and a reach-in foul on Busey getting into a little bit of foul nonsense here down the stretch. Both teams now in the super bonus. This one is good. And second one no good. Busey gave it off. Hall. And a little anger management required. Little something after the whistle on the part of the Evanston player out of frustration. And Matt Powell gets the first. It's the second. 12-point Trevian lead, 49-37. Benarama takes the shot up and in. 10 points, stolen. Missed the shot. Loose on the floor, picked it up. Still didn't get it. Now finally does. And the Trevian lead cut to 8. Busey. Near side. Now Lewis Paul. Out to his brother Matt. To Busey. Back to Matt. To Sartle. And now the foul. Elijah Hall has fouled out. Sartle gets the first. And the second as well. 51-41. Trevians with the lead. Now back top. Going for the three. No. Trevians with the rebound. Out ahead. Lewis Powell. Lewis Powell stops, pulls it back out. Chris Busey on the rotation. And the Trevians going to work the clock a little bit. Another foul. And Sartle goes to the line. Missed the first. As the fans start hitting for the exits. Got the second. 52-41. Alley-oop. No, offensive foul. Somebody got creamed there. Danny Larkin. Sartle. Larkin, and Larkin got bumped. He'll go to the line. Under a minute to play in the game. Danny misses the first. Got the second. 53-41, under a minute to go. Near side, going for a long three. Yes, hit it. 53-44, timeout taken. Larkin inbounds it. Up ahead, Brett Sartle. Sartle gave it off to Lewis Powell. And Lewis Powell gets fouled, and he'll go to the line. And the True Blue Trevian crew in fine voice. Just in case these two teams meet in the sectional They have already reserved the gym here, the Welsh-Ryan Arena, for the sectional. 55-44. Evanston with the basketball. Puts it up. No. Brought down by the Trevians and a foul. And once more we'll go down to the other side. And Matt Paul hits them both. 57-44. And the crowd, we have a bunch of the other players have now come in to finish this one off. Takes the shot, no. Loose off the fingertips. And that's going to be out of bounds to New Trier. Right at the WNTH crew. Right down there. Hines. And the Trevians just hold on to the ball here. Tried to steal it. And that's it. It's over, and the Trevians win it 57-44. I don't like this sort of stuff. It's awfully dangerous. People can get hurt. I've always said that. I remember the super sectional year with Loddick. He started swinging. I think Josh Nygut did too. Just, hey, stay away, get off me. You know, I don't want to get hurt by your stupidity. But in any case, the Trevians win it, 57-44, and move their record to 4-3 in the conference. Evanston remains on top at 5-2. So long, everybody.